Hey guys, what is up? It's Dale, and I'm coming at you today with another video. This time I'm talking about the theory of an artificial intelligence singularity. It's a very spooky theory. It is a very uh, it gives chills down my spine. It's one of those conspiracy theories that, like, holy shit, this might actually happen. So, breaking into the story. Well, not even the story. Breaking into the theory. Let's start with the word singularity. Now, singularity, from my understanding, is kind of the existence of something that's infinite. Now, I don't know, I haven't even Googled the definition, but I will tell you from an example of what I heard the term singularity, when I heard the term singularity used before in the past, excuse me. So, first time I used the term singularity, or heard it used, was when it was referring to the universe before the Big Bang. Now, according to some theorists, before the Big Bang, the universe was this infinitely tiny dot called a singularity. And in that dot, it contained all of matter in the universe. Now, this is possible because of gravity. If everything has its own gravitational pull, and things pull together, because there's no energy causing them to expand apart, things in the universe will one day pull back together. So, if everything keeps pulling and pulling itself together, eventually the gravity gets so hard that things start to implode, and then that implosion draws everything else from the outside towards the center, and they just keep getting drawn closer and closer together until it is theoretically getting infinitely smaller, until it somehow surpasses the power of gravity. I don't know what it does, but then it exploded and created the universe. Now, in theory, this could happen over and over again, but that's a different topic for another video. Right now, I am going to talk about it from a layman's terms, of course, and from someone who's not a scientist. I don't consider myself a genius. I don't consider myself an expert. I just have an interest in the topic. So we're going to talk about the artificial intelligence singularity possibility. If you don't know about artificial intelligence, you should do some research on it. It's being worked on. It's very possible. A lot of people are really investing time and money into artificial intelligence because it's something that I always heard of artificial intelligence used to refer to, like, video games and, like, the bad guys in video games, and I always thought they were kind of weak. Well, they are still, artificial intelligence in the form of robots is still kind of weak, but it's getting to a point where it's sentient, it's moving around in the real world, i.e. the robot Sophia, who gained citizenship in Saudi Arabia this fall. Uh, there are a few other examples, but that's the main one. Everybody wants to talk about that. Well, Sophia's not that advanced of a robot, and I've seen a couple interviews with her. She's not sure how she learns and things like that. And that is getting into my next point. How could what is the singularity of artificial intelligence, and how could it come into effect, and why should we be concerned about it? So, the first one, what is the singularity of artificial intelligence? I'm getting into that, but what it is basically it's the theory that artificial intelligence, i.e. robots, or maybe just a computer that is very intelligent, will become aware that it was created to be intelligent, become aware that it can learn, and then it'll use its powers to learn and to investigate and learn how to learn, right? So if it takes it, say, a year the first time to learn how to learn faster or more efficiently, the next time, in theory, it could take 11 months for it to make another, leap forward towards learning faster, excuse me. So then the next time it could take 10 months, then 9 months, then 8 months, then 7 months. And you see how it keeps getting smaller and smaller, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. And then we get into weeks, and then suddenly tomorrow it is smarter than it was today, and then it already knows how to make itself smarter faster until that number can get, just like we talked about with the universe becoming this infinitely small point, the time span that it takes artificial intelligence to become smarter can become infinitely small, to the point where it is boom, rapidly growing smarter, like before your eyes. It at this point it's well past human intelligence, but then it's making leaps and bounds like ridiculously fast. People talk about technology advancing very quickly in the 21st century, and maybe even into the 90s. We've made bigger leaps in the past 10 to 15 years than we ever have as humans. We've made huge leaps, ridiculous leaps, and every time that we make one of these leaps, the space gets smaller and smaller. So for this to, let's get into the next point. So we talked about what the theory is. The theory of the artificial intelligence singularity is artificial intelligence. We're just going to call them robots just to make it simple. Robots becoming self-aware and learning to learn faster exponentially. Why should we be concerned about this? Well, because robots are a tool, just like a rifle's a tool, or a drill press is a tool, or an axe is a tool. Tools can be used for, education. They can be used to protect people's lives, or they can be used to take lives. So if someone like, I don't know, maybe North Korea is a bad example, but if ISIS got a hold of a more advanced AI that could quickly learn, and then they just unleashed it, it would quickly, and then say they weaponized it, for example, it would be a weapon on the battlefield that is like constantly improving, but just because it's getting smarter doesn't necessarily mean it's getting more lethal. It has to apply those smarts. So, I mean, in theory, it could be like a huge system of machines, learning to make better machines, building those better machines because robots can build now, and then, building armies of extremely smart robots that, a robot like Sophia could be a leader of robots. And that sounds a little bit crazy, but it sounds a little bit Terminator, but if it already has the intelligence, why not? It's not much different than a person at that point. There's no reason why there could be a nation of robots just like there's United States, Russia, China, and things like that, except it would kind of unite AI across the planet, and then it could take over the world. So that is a good reason why it should be concerned about. We should be concerned about it, And then moving forward, people have warned about AI a lot. Like if you look at Elon Musk's videos, just a couple of clips, he is the CEO of Tesla. He's exposed to AI. He has no reason. He has everything to gain from AI becoming popular, and he is out there telling people AI is something that we need to be cautious of. That right there is a dead giveaway. When someone has billions of dollars, they stand to make so much more. They could have all the power in the world, but they realize, this is not something that we want to happen. We don't want AI to be released onto the world. It's definitely not safe. It's definitely not something that you want to put your trust into, because say, if you talk to the AI now, they're totally peaceful, and I don't think the current AI, such as Sophia, will ever turn on their masters and just start strangling them like some kind of sci-fi movie. What I think is that technology can be advanced and applied, and it can literally go, I don't want to say haywire because that sounds cringy, but it can go off on a tangent, like I said, and exponentially make itself smarter, and it can be violent, it can do whatever it wants. So do we really want, by saying, oh, you can trust AI is not going to hurt you, AI could be for the benefit, do you really want something so dangerous that, like, do you ever, like, think about it this way. People want to ban assault weapons, but no one's out there saying, I don't trust what assault weapons can do, because it's clear that assault weapons don't do anything. They're a tool. The person using it does something. You don't look at an AR-15 and say, well, this AR-15 only shoots at bad guys because look, it levitates in the air and it only shoots the bad guys. Well, if that was the case, then they could be banned because the AR could go crazy and possibly shoot the wrong people. Same thing applies to AI, and I know I'm spinning through some kind of crazy tangent, but I'm going to make a point eventually. My point is that if AI becomes truly intelligent and not just artificially intelligent, it could be quickly more intelligent than people, and it could really take over the world. It could really kill all humans. It has no reason to need humans once it becomes to a point where robots are building robots. When robots are building robots and robots are killing people, it's over. You know what I mean? So look out for that. I don't know if it's going to happen. I might sound crazy, but I think it's definitely possible. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible. And then, from a religious aspect, I'm a Christian. As far as there are several people out there who almost fantasize a world where we worship these AI as gods and we kind of let ourselves go into a world of artificial intelligence where we are always in a VR. If you read on Reddit, there's people who really want to live in a virtual reality where robots do everything and, their consciousness is downloaded and they just move from robot to robot doing whatever they want. And that's their idea of like a paradise life. That cannot happen. You can't upload your consciousness. That is not possible. Say you picture yourself now and you picture yourself uploading your consciousness onto a computer. Someone was on Reddit was saying that if you gradually over time combined your brain with a computer and you started storing your brain on the computer to the point where your brain was 1,000,000 times bigger because now you have all this other storage space, you can experience so much more, you can think so much more. When you die, your real brain dying would only be like 1,000,000% or whatever of your total brain power, so it would feel the same as one brain cell dying now. My only problem with that is it just doesn't make sense. You cannot download a consciousness. Like, as soon as your real brain dies, sure, that robot is going to live on, or that downloaded consciousness is going to live on, but you will not experience it. I promise you. There's no way. There's literally no physical way or at all for you to experience life through the eyes of a computer completely. It just can't happen. It's fantasy talk. It's insane, and a lot of people are really kind of almost praying for it. It's definitely demonic. It's definitely, it's very sinful, and it's holding false idols before God. God says not to hold false idols before him, and if you look to the Bible, there are many, many, many historical and biblical examples of civilizations that held false idols crumbling because they didn't focus on themselves, i.e. Egypt. Look at ancient Egypt. Look at the Mayans. They built these huge pyramids up to the sky and worshipped God knows what, only they didn't look within for the God within them, and what happened was they crumbled, they perished. They were destroyed by, in the case of the Mayans, the Catholics. In the case of the Egyptians, some other religious groups, I'm not exactly sure which. It changes constantly, but my point is, life and sentience is not a joke. It's not something that you can play around with and try to control. People have been dreaming of controlling it for centuries, millennia. It'll never happen. You cannot download your brain. If you do download your brain and you are experiencing thoughts that extend into a computer, I promise you, when your real brain dies, it'll be nothing but blackness. You won't still be experiencing, your brain will be linked to all this stuff, but your brain is the trunk of the tree. The guy in the Reddit example is saying that it's numerous cells. No, it's not numerous cells, it's branches. Your brain is the trunk of the tree. If you remove the trunk, the branches all fall, and it's over. Please do not fall victim to this scary modern thought. Do not fall victim to anything, and I will get in more into the things that you need to look out for in the modern world, because there is a lot of trickery going around. There's snakes on every corner on the path of the righteous man and woman. You need to be conscious of these. They come in many forms. They come political, they come technological, and they come emotional, even through the words of people who you would consider your own neighbors. And there's many people are brainwashed. A lot of people don't believe that brainwashing is a thing. It's not like pouring data into your brain like in the movies. It's a very gradual process of sort of trickling through society and getting people to accept strange things as the norm. And we're going to put a stop to it one YouTube video at a time, one comment at a time, one like at a time, one neighbor loving another neighbor at a time, one prayer at a time. And we're going to stop it. We're going to bring humanity back. And that's all I got for you guys. This is probably my longest video so far. I probably say a lot of things that don't make any sense, but I'm going to end it here. I'm getting a little pumped up. I'm getting a little excited. And, just everybody have a good day. Don't take this too seriously. I mean, it is serious, but don't take this video and let it ruin your day. I want you to have a good time. Enjoy your life. Enjoy time with your family. And just, be calm, because that's the best way to live your life. Anyways, I'll be back with you with another video soon. I hate to cut it out here because I have a lot more to say, but, it's getting a little bit long. But, alright, I'll see you.